Hey, 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 beautiful heart. What's vibing today? Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Dr. Danae, going to check on the energy. We just had this new moon. Um, I don't know about you, but I really liked the energy of this new moon. It feels, yes, it's intense, but it's lighter than the energy has been. April was really wild. So let's jump in, let's check in. Now, the intention I had set for this reading, I meditate before each reading while I shuffle the cards. What comes out stays. So the intention that was set was to pull on the energy for this soulmate connection, this soulmate cycle. So that still holds true. So if you are in some sort of soulmate situationship, what have you, this reading definitely can resonate with you. But once the cards came out and I was looking at them, another parallel story was coming through. So, for those of you called to this reading, but you might not be in a soulmate situationship with somebody right now, this energy here, this reading here, will absolutely work for you with you. And what does that mean? That means, the human consciousness and soul consciousness. So your human self, your I am present self, the higher self. And just so you guys know, in case you're not aware, that journey, all of us at some point in our lives have to face that, where we look at all of our beliefs and everything else and really kind of decide, are we happy with life? Is it working for us, or do we want to change? It can mirror a soulmate cycle and relationship. So let's get into it. Again, this is a general reading. This is not a personal reading. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. All right. So in the middle here, I have the overarching energy for this spread. We're starting off with challenge your perception, embrace spirit, and surrender to the flow. When I set the intention and was meditating on this, the intention was this side is for the divine masculine energy. This side is the divine feminine energy. We know that in this current cycle of soulmates, the divine feminine is leading the pack here, meaning they've been putting in a lot of this inner work. They have, they're just a little bit further ahead on the healing journey. But that's by design, because now the divine masculine is trying to follow the steps that the divine feminine has already walked through. This goes in a deeper, even bigger picture. We are now in the age of Aquarius, the seventh golden age. It's the age of the divine feminine. It's the age of the heart, intuition, love. We just came out of the age of Pisces and that paternal masculine ruled energy. So there's a shift. The masculines have really been going through it the past few years, really going through like this whole dismantling of their identity, who they thought they were, this, that, and the other, all of, old energy, hurt, pain, betrayal, deception, all of that coming up, this whole mixed bag, and they are feeling like a fish out of water. The divine feminine, you started on this before the masculines did. So you have come through already. This is also going to help you recognize, okay, wait a minute. I remember when I was in that energy, this, that, right? Should help you not make stories around whatever the divine masculine is doing or not doing. And what I mean by that is those stories where internally we start thinking and feeling about all the times we've been done wrong, this, that, and the other. But in that dialogue, we're beating ourselves up. We're blaming ourselves. None of that internal dialogue is very self supportive or self loving. That right there is a core root issue. And that's what both sides of the fence are working on, whether they realize it or not. So, how does this relate if you're not dealing with a soulmate, but this reading is about you with you? Well, we all have the masculine energy and we all have the feminine energy. So, if you listen to this from that perspective, it should be easier to connect. Okay. So challenge your perception. I really feel that, so these two cards, this challenge your perception is over here for the masculine, embrace spirit is over here for the feminine, and then surrender to the flow. This is both energies together. Okay. So the divine masculine is really going through this process of looking at all their beliefs, challenging their beliefs and their perceptions. And if you are relating more to the divine feminine energy and you're doing this, that's fine. Guys, this is not a prediction. This is not psychic readings. This is just straight up energy reading. I am picking up on the energy around this cycle and feeding it back to you in words or concepts that might be easier to understand what's really going on. So again, this isn't a psychic prediction, it's just straight up energy. Okay. So 9 of Swords, which is also the 9 of Birds. And I apologize with the lighting. It might be hard to see the cards, but this is my Mirror Visions deck that has multiple scenes in each card. So the 9 of Birds, 9 of Swords. And if you can't see this picture really well, it's a very large bird. This is the head, and here's the beak. This is a big wing, and there's a person right here. The bird's mouth is open, almost as if it's going to eat the person. That's not what is happening on this card. And then on the 9 of Swords side, there is this person here with a bow and arrow trying to shoot at the birds. So swords and birds in this energy is talking about thoughts, perceptions. Okay. What are perceptions? It's thoughts and beliefs based on your own filters, how you filter things, whatever your beliefs are about a situation. Perceptions aren't true, nor are they false. They're unique to each person. But the thing is, it is each person's responsibility to look at their perceptions and change them if needed. Many times we in adulthood are making life decisions based on perceptions that we picked up on in childhood from adults or what have you. They may not even be true for us. So this is about looking at where you're at in life right now, what is going on, and challenging your perception about it. Is it really true? Do you really align with it? And is that something you want to continue? So, with this Nine of Swords, this energy, this is about thoughts. It's about entertaining our limiting beliefs, our limiting perceptions, being very rigid in our thoughts, black and white. This is how it has to be, blah, blah, blah. So this is really saying, hey, you're in your head too much. Drop this down into your heart. Your head has a different frequency than your heart. And these thoughts aren't new thoughts. They're recycled old thoughts, old stories that you keep telling yourself based on past hurts and traumas. So it could be relationship wise, doesn't have to be. It could definitely be about where you're at in life, what you want to do. March and April could have really brought up a lot of struggle type of energy. With this, going back to, the you versus you energy, this is speaking and saying, hey, why are you continuing to tell yourself the old story? Entertain those old thoughts that really bring you down. You're not the winner in that dialogue by your own design. What do I mean by that? Let's say you are dealing with somebody and I don't know, you reach out to them, they don't get back to you right away, it may be a day or so. You immediately go into a whole story. What's wrong with me? Who are they seeing? Why am I not good enough? Why aren't they getting back to me? Blah, blah, blah. And that'll, kick up all the other times in the past when something similar happened. You feel what I'm saying on that? That's your own doing. Okay, they may not have reached out, they may not have returned the call or the text or whatever. But again, they may have a legitimate, valid reason for that. But in this current perception, that's not taken into effect. All this story is about how you're not good enough. So that's what I'm saying. Be very, very careful and aware of that energy right now. Make sure that internal dialogue and your thoughts about yourself, especially, are very compassionate and loving. Okay. With this Nine of Swords, this is heavier thoughts, heavier energy. It takes up your time and your attention. It siphons out any inspiration that you have. And I do feel with this energy, you've had bouts of inspiration where you want things to change or you want to try something different, what have you. I feel like in this energy, that inspiration comes through, but it's quickly snuffed out because of your own thoughts. Okay. So be aware of that. If this isn't you with you, this is your soulmate, your counterpart, this is what they're going through. Okay. This is part of their journey, part of their walk, part of their lesson. This isn't for you to be, Captain Save-A-Ho and run in and are you okay? Is everything okay? I'm here for you, blah, blah. No, that's all still rooted in that Nine of Swords. This is about, hey, this person has some stuff they need to deal with. One of the ways I like to explain this is they've got a suitcase packed full of stuff they don't want to look at, but it's their suitcase. They're in control of it. They're the only ones that can look at it. This is an energy of let let the other person have their own life lessons. That's what this boils down to. You had your lessons in this area, and some of you are still going through that, and that's okay. But this person needs to do it for themselves and find their own way and learn how to stop that internal thoughts that just keep you stuck. Okay. So now we've got this is life map, and the other side of this card is the world. Let me see. Or Wheel of Fortune, I'm sorry. Here's Wheel of Fortune, life map. And this makes sense because Wheel of Fortune is talking about change, major change. This is part of this cycle for the seventh golden age. So if you're a divine feminine, and it doesn't matter physical bodies, okay? Talking energy. But if you align with that, where you've been the black sheep, you've, had a lot of heavier lessons, this, that, and the other, okay? The energy wheel is changing. So where you might have felt like you were on the bottom, a period of loss, betrayal, things just not going your way, all of that wheel is now changing. It's turning to where now you're coming into a fruitful time, or that's on tap. And that energy shift can really kick up this Nine of Swords energy. Why? Because you historically have learned to survive in challenges, survive in that less than energy. Now you've been on this journey of self-love. This is where rubber meets the road, and you need to put this into practice. When you put self-love first, everything else starts to fall in place. Why? Because our blueprint is really based on our self-love. So if you've been lacking in self-love, and that's what this whole energy is talking about, that's when we're open to other people coming into our lives. Doesn't matter if it's friends, family, coworkers, lovers, whatever. But if you lack in self-love, you lack in those boundaries of one, how you talk to yourself, how you are with yourself, then you're going to lack in that with other people. Your boundaries have to be very solid. You can't break your own boundaries. And when you get to that point where you're not, nobody else can. But how you think and feel and treat yourself is the blueprint for how others in your life are going to be able to treat you. Okay. So this is a time of really focusing on oneself. I know it could be scary because energy's changing. You haven't been here before. You can't see what's in front of you. Tomorrow is unknown. But here's a universal law. Here is a truth. And if all of us were taught this when we were younger, we would not have these struggles in life. But we were all born into the matrix. We were here to learn contrast. Without going through the crap storm, we wouldn't know divine love. We wouldn't know, our birthrights, all of those different things. So yes, it can be quite scary, but this energy has been preparing you, and it's saying, hey, embrace the unknown, because guess what? You are the creator of your experiences in your life. What you're thinking about, what you're feeling is what you put out there. That's what you're going to get back. So if you're being very diligent and you're not putting out any feelings of past lack, hurt, betrayal, failure, all of that, you're not going to get that back in your tomorrow. You can't, because it's not what you're putting out. You're not in an alignment with it. So even though it can feel very scary because you don't really know what's happening, and guys, make no mistake about it, it can appear one way in 3D. And that's where you have to challenge your perception and sitting there going, whoa, well, this is just how it happened in my past. This is truth. No, that's what's appearing. Doesn't mean there's truth. Got to look underneath. So either this is you really kind of doing this inventory at that edge where you know you need to make that decision to either step into the unknown boldly or stay where you're at or think about the past. No right or wrong, it's just about experience. But if you don't want to experience what you've experienced in the past, don't think about it. Don't bring it into the now. Because your life map, there is so many amazing things waiting for you. All right. 10 of Wands, 10 of Embers. So, yep, another heavy energy card. And the qualifier to this is denial. Works perfect. And it works with this energy because we're starting out kind of in this self-defeating, thicker energy. Then we kind of get a hold of ourselves, we start to make that change, and then boom, something else comes up, and now we're back in defeat, questioning it, doubt and fear. This is where doubt and fear comes in, okay? So that could be going on with your person, that could be going on with, one part of your energy. So now over here, we've got embrace spirit. We have the sun, which is also infinite paths. Let's see, the sun, infinite paths. And notice the difference in the energy on this side compared to here. This is heavier. This is more weightier. I don't even know if that's a word. If not, it is now. I'm going to keep using that. This kind of feels like defeated, where this is very optimistic, uplifting. Yes, okay, I've been through this darkness, but you know what? I'm not going back. I'm going forward. Whatever's ahead of me is going to be way better than what I've left behind. This is saying, you know what? I'm embracing the unknown. I'm embracing spirit, whatever spirit means to you, because I know spirit, the universe, God, what have you, has my back. If I stay in the flow, and this is the 8 of Wands, but if I stay in the flow, I know that even when things seem rough or seem to be going not in the way that I want them, if I surrender, if I stay out of worry, resentment, anger, victim mentality, if I stay out of that and I basically just stop, take a few deep breaths, turn this over to my higher self or God, and just say, you know what? I'm going to put this in my heart. You deal with this situation. I am just going to be for a few moments. I'm going to stay in the flow. Staying in the flow, notice how he's very relaxed, just laid back. He's not up running around. He's not sitting there thinking, doing. He's literally going, nope, I'm going to stay in the flow. And I'm going to let this energy go around me, however it's going to go around me. Then we have here the unknown. And the unknown is also the judgment card. The unknown, judgment. I don't know if you can see it or not, but on the judgment card, there's a door and there's a hole, but there's an eye in there. The unknown and judgment. And then what's clarifying that is the Knight of Cups, open. Yes, you are very open to change. You are open to the unknown. Notice over here, this energy was more afraid of the unknown, more resistant to the unknown. Over here in this energy, it's welcomed. This is the path that you prefer to go. You are open to all the new situations. You are open to your emotions. You're no longer shutting those down. You're no longer afraid of them. You are saying yes to life, and you are calling in everything good in your life. That even if something shows up and it doesn't appear to be going good, it could be challenging right now, what have you, you are open for that unknown path. You're staying in the flow, and you know what you desire desires you, and it's going to come to fruition. You know, you recognize that you are on a journey and a path. And this new path, this unknown path, as uncomfortable as it was to take the first few steps to get on it, you're enjoying it. You're seeing every day things working out for you in ways you could have never orchestrated on your own. Three of Pentacles, which is also the Three of Trees. Yeah, you have been working hard. I do feel that your circle is changing. I feel that as you went through this, you realize that some people on the path with you weren't aligned at this juncture. No story, no villain needs to happen. It just needs to be, you know what? I'm just not in alignment with that anymore, or that person anymore. It could be this could even talk about your house. Maybe the way the decorations are, the way you have it set up. It's just, it doesn't feel as juicy as it did before. So you're going through and either redecorating or remodeling or changing things up. You're really getting organized. There's this organization energy that is flowing forward. And for those who are already really well organized, you're going to be seeing how you're going to the next level in organization. This is all part of the divine plan, because the timeline is speeding up. Things are about to really speed up in your life. You're not going to have time to kind of stop and put things together and da da da. No, now is the time to get hyper organized, so that when you start having days that it's just boom, 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 you already have systems in place. You don't have to stop and fumble around and figure it out. And these systems, it could feel weird putting them into place when you're not so busy yet. But trust in the process, trust that that is what you're being called to do, because that's your future self preparing you for your tomorrows. Organize is also the Four of Swords. So yeah, this is about creating new foundations, solid foundations. And Three of Pentacles is about contracts, working with other people, things like that. So if your business or your job has been stagnant, or there hasn't been newness, freshness, things like that, just know you're not a failure, none of that. It's going through a transition. It's like a reorganization. Guys, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. If things aren't working in your business, it's absolutely okay to go back to the drawing board and try something else. I mean, that's really the way that great businesses have been created. Don't think for 1 minute, Fortune 500 companies or whatever, had an idea, grabbed a few people, started to put that idea in place, and then overnight became a Fortune 500 company. Don't lie to yourself. They went through trials and tribulations. All right. That's just the way that it is. Um, and if your experiences have always been dealing with companies that are already established, things that already have policies and processes and things in place, and you work really well in that, you just need to learn the rules and the policies, and you can be an amazing employee. I'm gonna throw down the gauntlet, and I'm gonna challenge you on that. Because if that is how you've always been, ask yourself, are you really living life on your terms, or have you been living life as an order taker? Okay, here's the structure that was set up. Let me find my way and work my way, how to work within that box. If you haven't had this revelation yet, all of this energy, 2024 was here to say, you know what? The box doesn't exist anymore. That comfort zone, that's gone. This is learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable, paving your own way. Your heart's desire has been to do things uniquely, to do things your own way, yet you find yourself in situations where the box is already there and you need to figure out how to play nicely in the box. Stop and ask yourself, are you a box person, or are you craving to be outside of the box? Because being outside of the box, creating a business, creating processes, whatever it is, it will take all of you. It will challenge you. And it's a good thing. You will meet areas of yourself you didn't even know existed. And it'll help you grow. Um, I definitely encourage you, if you have an opportunity to join a startup company, and I'm talking about, when they're really on the ground floor, nothing's really come of it yet, do it. Do it. It will be the best experience. Will it challenge you? Absolutely. Will there be days that you question yourself and you don't want to continue because it's so much and so intense and seems overwhelming? Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's where growth happens, challenging yourself, surrendering to the flow of life, the flow of energy. It's not always going to be easy peasy. It goes in cycles, it goes in seasons. If you're trying to start your own business or your own thing, give yourself so much grace. Okay? It usually doesn't happen that you have an idea and then you put that idea out and it's just everybody flocks to you. Not saying that can't happen. Absolutely, it can happen. But the majority, 99%, that's not how it works. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go on behind the scenes that nobody knows. And one thing that great entrepreneurs or business people do is they're not afraid to put something into play, see what happens, and if it doesn't work or it's a disaster, they don't pack their stuff and say, that's it, I tried it, I give up. No, they go back to the drawing board. They go, okay, let's look at that. Here's what we did. Here's what happened. Now what do we want to do? You go back to the drawing board and go, yeah, you know what? Okay, that didn't work. What if we try this way? And they'd keep at it. There's not a limit of, okay, we're going to try this 4 times. And if on the 4th time it still doesn't work, that's it. We're not meant to do this, blah, blah, blah. No. You guys stick with it. Because just like starting a business or a startup, this is basically what you're doing with your life right now. Your life is a startup company. You're deciding what you want to do, how you want to do it, who you want with you on this journey. You're not afraid to try different things, no matter what other people say. You're okay if it doesn't work out. You're just going to go back to the drawing board and try something new. All of this, every little step of the way is an experience. It's a learning lesson. Get out of that mindset of, well, if this fails, I'm a failure. No, there's just a flaw in the plan. So you just go back to the plan. On those days that it's really intense, put yourself in timeout. If you know you're not in the great headspace to deal with people or things, don't force yourself. That's not surrendering to the flow. That's pushing your way, and it's not going to turn out well for you. There will be days that you just wake up in a crappy mood. Honor that. Recognize that and just say, you know what? Okay, today, this is how I'm feeling. I'm going to limit my exposure to people, places, and things, because I know if I act out in this energy, that's karma that I'm going to have to correct down the road. So if you recognize that and just say, you know what? I need to call out today. I need to just spend the day in bed, sleeping or in the corner, whatever it is. Honor that. That's self-love. You don't want to sit there, wake up and in a negative headspace and just say, no, I'm just so positive and blah, blah. Don't gaslight yourself. Stop. You've had enough of that. Okay. So yeah. And this is coming through. So whoever is wanting to either start a business or grow your business via social media, doesn't matter the platform, but you feel stuck in that, or you feel like you're not being seen, things aren't working, what have you, tune into the energy of what's going on out there right now. For many of you, it just may be a timing thing. Social media is changing, guys. It really is. And it will continue to change. You just have to ask yourself, are you in alignment with what is taking place right now? And if you're not, then ask yourself, okay, what can I be doing in the meantime? Okay. Number 2, peace beyond survival. Ha! This is like survival. This is like the peace. Peacemaker through inner peace, resolving ancient splits. Yep. The ancient split between the masculine and feminine energy within us. Okay. You guys watched me shuffle. You watched this card come out. I can't make this up. I don't know if you could see it, but it says flow. We have flow here. I've been talking about being in the flow. So yeah, release control, divine will, oceanic consciousness. Oceanic consciousness means get by some water. If you're not near water, get in the shower. Say your affirmations as the water comes over you. Allow the flow. Allow this energy to flow through you, because make no mistake about it, your life is changing. You're the director of this show. Everything that happens based on how you're feeling, because it's our feelings that put out the frequency to attract back to us that same feeling or something that matches that. You can't be in a defeated mindset or feeling and expect success to come to you. Two totally different vibrations. This is all about getting your vibration right and getting in alignment. All right, guys, I hope that helped. If you are interested in a session with me to dive into what's going on with you personally, all that information is in the description box below. All right, guys. Sending you oceans and oceans of love. Alakai, Alakai, Alakai.